Welcome to Kaeng Krachan, Thailand's biggest and in my opinion best national park in the whole country. We're slightly north of what is true equatorial rainforest. However, many of the vegetation here share the same adaptations to those found in the equatorial region. The climatic conditions needed for equatorial rainforests include year-round warm temperatures of anywhere between 26 and 30 degrees Celsius as an average. There's a small diurnal, which means daily temperature range. So unlike locations such as deserts where the temperature can vary significantly between day and night, here it's only a few degrees. It has to be humid, and as the name rainforest suggests, it has to rain. We're looking at 2,000 millimeters a year or more without any particular significantly different rainy season. It should be raining 12 months of the year. Now let's have a look at what the adaptations are like here in terms of vegetation. This behind me is an emergent. These are the tallest trees in the rainforest. You can see that they've got a really tall straight trunk. The purpose of that is when they're growing, they want to reach the light as quickly as possible. They don't want to waste time spreading out, so they grow up tall and straight and then branch out like broccoli when they reach the light. Look at the size of this tree. Because it is so tall, maybe 40, 50 meters high, it's got to have a really wide base. So it's got these roots that you don't find anywhere outside of the tropics. These roots are called buttress roots. So they offer support in the same way a wide base or a stance in sport offers you a much more stable base. But another reason is because the forest floor has got such little nutrients in it, these actually help to trap leaves, fallen fruits, or anything else that might provide these trees with nutrients. So the forest floor receives very little sunlight, not as much as somewhere like the canopy or the emergence high up there, maybe 30, 40 meters above me. So the plants on the forest floor have to adapt, so they have much bigger leaves. So they've got a bigger surface area for photosynthesis. You would not find leaves this big in a temperate area such as the UK, the USA, Japan. This tree here isn't particularly tall. However, what's interesting about it is this plant growing about 4 meters high. This is growing on it. This is an epiphyte. In Greek, that means on plant. So high up in the canopy, in the tropical rainforest, we get many, many epiphytes. And that's why the canopy has the most life. These plants are almost cheating. They're living high up where they can access light. Light means life because of photosynthesis, so they can flourish. As the forest floor is relatively dark, we get lots of plants that are cheating in a way by using existing trees as a ladder to climb up to the canopy where there's light for photosynthesis. So we've got vines like these that we can see growing up this tree, and even better examples are these lianas, which once they're established in the canopy as an epiphyte, they extend their roots down into the ground, gaining more nutrients. These are lianas, so just like Tarzan would swing from, these are parasitic plants that use other trees like a ladder to access the light. And this one here is a really cool example because it's covered in spikes. And you can see it running all the way up the tree, almost like a spiky snake. This strangler fig is in the process of strangling the original tree. We can only make out a little bit of the original tree here because it's been completely surrounded by the strangler fig. But the original tree has served its purpose. Strangler figs are parasitic, which means that it uses it like a ladder to reach the light and then kills the tree. Behind me is a strangler fig in its final and most successful stage. It has strangled the initial tree that was there beforehand, and it is now a big tree that's successful. When that tree was strangled, it killed it, which meant that for years there was a decomposing tree adding nutrients to the soil, used that nutrients to become even bigger and more successful. Many of the leaves in the rainforest have what's called a drip tip. You can see this elongated part at the end of the leaf. The purpose of that is for when it rains, the water will flow off it downwards off that drip tip. Why that's important? Because in the hot and humid environment, water means algae growing, which reduces photosynthesis, but also water acts like a magnifying glass. So with that hot tropical sun, that could cause leaf damage. Many people think the rainforest is full of nutrients and should be fertile. However, when leaves and dead plants fall to the bottom of the forest, all of those nutrients quickly disappear because of the vast number of decomposers like these fungi behind me, where there's the perfect warm and humid conditions for the nutrients to be used up quickly. Another one of the decomposers found in the rainforest are termites. Look at the size of this termite nest. Again, any vegetation on the forest floor is very quickly processed and decomposed by termites. As the forest floor lacks nutrients, some plants, like these amazing pitcher plants, create their own nutrients. They've got adapted leaves that have created these cups, or as the name suggests, pitchers, and they secrete nectar. So insects are attracted to that, they land on the rim, and this is slippery, and they end up falling into the pitcher. Inside the pitcher are enzymes, and those insects get dissolved and digested, providing these plants on the forest floor with extra nutrients.